Today on Review This Thing, we're going to review this thing, the Hawke Optics Nature Trek 9-27 by 56 spotting scope. This is Adrian with Review This Thing, where our goal is to always bring you the most honest, thorough, unbiased, unpaid reviews on YouTube. This summer, Robbie and I were at an event where they had this Hawke Optics Nature Trek spotting scope, and we were super impressed with it. They had this spotting scope out at a range day, and even though it's super small and compact, it really did great. We reached out to the folks at Hawke Optics, and they were super awesome, sent one of these over for us to test out. We've had it about 4 months. We've used it several different ways, tried to put it through its paces. If you watched our best gift ideas for the outdoorsman video, we featured this in that before we did a review, mainly because we liked it so much and we wanted to tell you a little bit about it. So we've kind of played our hand. You know we love this thing, but let's review this thing. You know the drill, let's cover the facts. The first part is fit. Now for fit, I primarily just want to talk about the size of this spotting scope because that is probably our favorite part. This particular version of the Nature Trek spotting scope is a 9-27 by 56. Total length is only about 7.5 inches, and height from the bottom to the top is just at 4 inches. The eyepiece is about 1.75 inches, and this distal optic is about 2.5 inches in diameter. And this thing only weighs about 1.25 pounds, so it's extremely compact and lightweight. That was one of the primary reasons we were interested in this spotting scope. As you know, Robbie was hunting out west during the fall, and he wanted to take a spotting scope with him, but he did not want to take the much larger and heavier Athlon spotting scope that we've previously reviewed on our channel. The Hawke Nature Trek spotting scope was perfect for that purpose, and we've used it for a lot of other purposes that we will talk about later. So because of that, we are going to have to give fit a 5 out of 5. Now is the Hawke Nature Trek spotting scope as advertised. First thing Hawke advertises is exceptional optical performance in a lightweight waterproof design. We've already talked about it, but this thing is definitely extremely lightweight. Now, as far as it being waterproof, we've used it in, various foggy situations and things like that. We tend to not do a great job of torture testing things because we really just like to take care of our stuff. So with normal use, it's been fine. We haven't seen any issues with water getting in or any fog, but we also didn't submerge it or just leave it out in pouring down rain or anything like that. Now let's talk about exceptional optical performance. This is definitely one of the things we've been very impressed with. It has a BAK4 Poro Prism, which I Googled to learn that this type of glass is designed to have increased light transmission for better edge-to-edge clarity, which I would have to say from our experience, it definitely has that. Now keep in mind, this is a 27x zoom, so it's not gonna maybe reach out as far as some of the 50, 60, even like 80x zooms, but we've been crazy impressed with what it can do at just 27. One thing I'll mention here is that it is pretty easy to mount a viewer. There's also an attachment you can get to put your camera on it, but we didn't try that part out. We did mount a Tacticam spotter LR to it, as well as the MagView spotting scope adapter, and both of those were really easy to put on. The videos here were actually filmed using that MagView adapter and an iPhone 11. You can see here the picture is really clear. These mule deer are actually about 200 yards away from Robbie. And you can see in this video that just through the phone, you can tell that these are animals. Probably can tell they're pronghorn, but when he zooms in through the spotting scope, you can clearly see these pronghorn 700 yards away, and you would easily be able to pick out a mature one to keep an eye on. Now in this video, it doesn't look like much, but Robbie was glassing this hillside with his 10x42 binoculars, and right there on the edge, you can see something that from way far away could look like an elk. So he pulled out the Hawke spotting scope, and it was very easy for him to tell that it was in fact a bush and not an elk, and that bush is actually 2.28 miles away. In this video, he zoomed in a pull-off that was on the side of the road, and he looked on his map and figured out that that pull-off was actually over 4 miles away. So for glassing and spotting and looking for wildlife and things far away, this thing does an amazing job, and it's very clear even at those far distances. Now just to show you a little change up, these videos we filmed with the Tacticam Spotter LR. These targets are actually about 100 yards away, and you can definitely see where a point of impact is. Now I will tell you, sometimes it's difficult to make sure you're focused when you're looking through the Spotter LR as compared to just looking through the spotting scope, so that's why that's probably not exactly clear. So then just to make sure of how it would look, we went to the range, put the MagView on there with the iPhone, shot at 100 yards. Again, easy to see the point of impact. And then we took it out to 200 yards. So we're able to zoom in a little bit more at 200 yards, a little bit grainier just because of the optical zoom of the phone, but does the job and you can easily see what you want to see. So because we feel like so far this thing does exactly what they say it should do, we're going to have to give, as advertised, a 5 out of 5. Now onto construction and durability. So let's just talk about a few of the features of the Hawke Nature Trek spotting scope. One thing I like is that it has a twist up eye cup. For whatever reason, especially on binoculars, I like to twist them out all the way and just put them right up against me. So for me, that's one thing that I'm fond of. It also has the female end of a tripod mount on the bottom, so you can easily just put that mount on there and basically put it on any tripod as long as you can fit the adapter in there. The Nature Trek spotting scope also comes standard with a stay-on neoprene sleeve. We have it off in most of the videos just because it looks cooler without it, but this sleeve is really helpful for keeping the outside of it protected, also keeping it warmer so it's a little more comfortable to handle. Another nice feature is that the focus ring is very conveniently placed on the barrel, so you can easily get your picture in focus. As far as durability, as I mentioned, Robbie took it on that week-long trip. He had it in and out of his pack. The pack was full with a bunch of other stuff, if you saw that video. And we've also thrown it in and out of the range bag a lot. And so far, so good. The outside looks great, no damage. Lenses are clear, no cracks, nothing like that. Now, as I mentioned, we don't like to tear things up, so I haven't done anything really extreme with it. But just for normal use, I'd say durability is rock solid. So because it is well built and it's held up nicely so far for us, I'm going to have to give construction and durability a 5 out of 5. Now into testimonials and reviews. So I searched several websites to try to find reviews on this, but I wasn't able to find a ton. I did find a few, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you what people complained about. And really the only thing I found that people complained about was they said that you can't really use it to zoom in far off. I've shown you lots of examples. I would say that if you're going to go to the range and try to shoot maybe 300, 400, 500 yards, then this may not be exactly what you're looking for, but you can see what we did at 100 and 200. And you can see for glassing purposes what animals looked like at 700 yards and what the landscape looked like at over 2 miles away. So you know what we do? We tell you the score we found. So for testimonials and reviews, it's going to get a 4.7 out of 5. Finally, should I buy this thing? You know the deal, it totally depends on what it is you're looking for and what you want the spotting scope to do for you. If you're doing a lot of long range shooting and you need a spotting scope to be able to see clear points of impact at 600, 700, 800 yards or even out to 1,000 or more yards, then you're probably going to want to look at a spotting scope that has more zoom. Now, I haven't used any other Hawke spotting scopes, but they have one that I think goes out to even 85x zoom. So take a look at those if that's what you're thinking about doing. But if you're going backcountry hunting and you want to take a spotting scope that you're going to carry with you, then this thing is going to be absolutely perfect because it's not only going to not take up a lot of space, but it's also going to save you a whole lot of weight, and you know how important that is. And if you want a spotting scope to throw in your range bag and you're mainly going to be shooting 100 yards to 300, then this thing is absolutely perfect, again, especially if you pair it with a viewer. And one thing I haven't even mentioned yet is the cost of this thing. So MSRP is only $279, and retail, I found it numerous places for right at $250. I did a quick check just to find other comparable compact spotting scopes that had about the same amount of zoom. The cheapest one I could find was $500, and then they went up to even like $1,800 a piece. So for the price that you're going to pay for this thing, I don't think you're going to be unhappy at all. As a matter of fact, I think you're going to be pretty doggone impressed. So if that's what you're looking for, you know what I'm about to say. Should you buy this thing? 5 out of 5. Hey, thanks for watching our Hawke Optics Nature Trek 9-27 by 56 spotting scope review. While you're here, watch a bunch of other videos. Give them a thumbs up if you like them. If you really like them and you haven't, please consider subscribing. Share them with your friends, tell them all about us. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and you can also go to our website, reviewthisthingtv.com.